Trapped in the concept, falsely accused, was used, and misled, bitch, I'm hoping you fucking rest in peace. Now the fact that I'm alone is fucking.
Alright, you guys, it was Gucci. It's your boy, SJ Kid, out the first Black Super Saiyan to ever on this planet. I'm back here with another video. I got this It Chapter 2 review, spoilers up in this thing. Spoiler review for It Chapter 2.
No, I'll take him.
I'm not doing a spoiler-free review, I'm just going to do a spoiler review. So I saw It Chapter 2 yesterday. Now, there have been words going around of people saying this doesn't live up to the first film. Now, in my opinion, I still appreciate the miniseries over the new. I appreciate the miniseries more. Now, Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise looks 10 times better than the older Pennywise from the miniseries. He do. But that's because, you know, it's up-to-date CGI and better practical effects, all this stuff, which is able to make Bill Skarsgård look on point with that big old balloon head. Now, one thing I can agree with for some people who had some issues with It Chapter 2 was that the movie, and a lot of movies have, let's use the MCU for example, because this is a problem the MCU has. I'm all good and fine with you having a few jokes in something. Now there's different ways you can do your jokes. Dark humor, or just straight up corny humor, or just straight up just random humor. Now this movie was trying to go for dark humor. But the characters Richie and Eddie, as much as I liked them, now I'll say this much. Eddie was funny, bruh. Eddie's little weird, outrageous outburst, like, oh, F off. He had, what's that term? Asperger's. I think it's Asperger's, where they just blurt out some random nonsense that they can't truly control. It seemed like he was talking like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was funny. For example, the scene where the guy, the freaking crazy kid who was racist as heck, tried to kill the black kid from the first film, and then the Losers Club came and backed him up, and then he cut that H symbol on Fat Boy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Shouts out Fat Boy. But he cut that H on him and printed that H onto his side of his on the side of his body. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, he got stabbed in the face. Now I'm over here, oh my gosh, this is about to get real. Eddie just got stabbed in the face. Now I questioned how he's still, like, you know, walking around and talking good, because I'm like, you got stabbed in your face. You need to go to a hospital. You can't be going to fight Pennywise, bruh. But hey, he was moving perfect. He was moving perfectly fine. He was talking perfectly fine. That surprised me. I was like, that didn't cut your tongue or anything? Okay, whatever. I will suspend my disbelief because you have OP plot armor. You're not going to die yet, but you're going to die when the plot wants you to die. So Eddie got stabbed in the face, and Eddie cracked a joke about it. Eddie legit cracked a joke. Like, what was that dude's name? Fuller? I forgot that dude's name. The crazy guy. But he was like, what the freak, man? You should have cut that mullet 30 years ago. What the freak? It's out of style. And I laughed at it. I was like, that's funny. But I'm looking at it, and I'm like, dude, you just got stabbed in the face. Now, look, I understand. But things for horror movies, look, I get it. If there needs to be humor and a little bit of something, I'm fine with that. But don't have your humor be to where you make me laugh and you totally take me out of the serious. That was a serious and pretty gruesome moment. Eddie got stabbed in the face, and then they crack a joke. I make a laugh, and I'm like, oh shoot. And then after that scene, Eddie's just like perfectly, he bandaged up and he's walking around like, oh, hey everybody. Like he wasn't even slurring his words or nothing. He was talking perfectly fine. I'm like, don't you got a big ass hole in your mouth? That didn't cut your tongue or nothing? Okay, whatever. But, you know, like I say, that was a problem the film had. When they cracked jokes in certain moments that were probably serious, for example, at the end of the film, when it was battling Pennywise in his true form, Richie was... Now, this scene could have done without jokes. Like, Richie and Eddie, this scene could have really done without jokes from Richie and Eddie both. Because that scene when they was, like, opening up the doors and they're looking at the dog and then Pennywise trying to kill him, I'm like... what is going on? Okay, ain't this dude trying to kill y'all? Y'all over here having this conversation about a dog. You just told the dog to sit, and I'm like, y'all about to die. Okay.
Trash!
Okay, my brain is trying to process and handle this weird sense of humor that's going on. You had humor in the wrong place, like an MCU movie. When they have their humor, they literally do this. A serious moment. No. Okay, best example. Doctor Strange and Tony Stark. When Tony Stark finally met Doctor Strange and they're talking about Thanos and why he's here, why he's coming, and he asks, what's his name? Thanos. Blah, 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 blah. And then during the scene, these two start joking about Ben and Jerry's ice cream. I'm like, why are y'all joking about ice cream? This nigga Thanos is about to come and kill everybody. Same thing for this movie too. But my problem here is that you're a horror movie. Look, you need to be scary. Horror movies should be more serious. Now look, there's some times when you're goofy, but it's a horror movie. I'm supposed to be scared. I'm supposed to feel sadness when there's sadness. I'm supposed to feel pain when there's supposed to be pain here. When you guys the character I'm looking at in pain and all I feel is happiness and joy, it's weird. You know, you want to find a way to pull me in. It's like this. When Logan died in the Logan movie, when his daughter was weeping for her father when he died, well, father, their daughter and son. When she was weeping for how her dad died and the fact that her dad, Logan, is dead, I wept too. I felt the emotion. Now, let's say, for example, if Logan, as he was dying, cracked a joke, oh, so this is what death feels like. It sucks, oh, boom, and he just, I don't know, crack a joke or something. And then I start laughing. And while I'm laughing, everybody else, all the characters in the film are crying, and I'm over here laughing at it. I'm like, dang. But I'll say this much about It Chapter 2. I actually did like the film. I didn't hate the film. I didn't dislike the film. But it wasn't the best. It wasn't my favorite. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the first one. Like, if I had to be honest with you guys, Pennywise... okay. I'll say this much. Pennywise felt a lot more creepier in this movie. Like, the moments when they showed him actually chomping on people, like when he bit that gay guy, he bit out a chunk of his rib. Fear. I was like, dang, he ate that mother. He chomp. He got a bite. And then when he bit the little girl's head, I was like, oh. And then when he also who else did he bite? Oh yeah, when he ate that little boy that damn, I keep forgetting these people's name. That the Billy, the stutter, the kid, the guy who stuttered, him, when he was trying to save that little boy at the carnival who Pennywise sent a message to talking about, oh, you couldn't save Georgie. Just like when you couldn't save Georgie, I'm about to snatch up this little boy too. It was cool. I mean, yeah. I said I like the gore a bit more in this movie. Another thing about this film. Beverly and the boy who stutters that's married. Now, yeah, I saw no signs of his wife being unfaithful. I saw no signs of him cheating with anybody. But I'm over looking at this. I'm like, dude, ain't you married? Why are you getting all googly eyed? Now I get it. Y'all used to have an old thing. But I'm like, bruh, you married, my G. He finna go. He finna go home to his wife, have them Beverly lips on his lips, and when he kisses his wife, his wife is gonna have the essence of Beverly touch her lips. It's a recipe for disaster. But you know that kind of threw me out a bit. That threw me out a bit that he was married, and he was like there was this. Yeah, he kissed her. It was the scene when he kissed her. It was right before Pennywise sent the message that, hey, I'm gonna kill this little boy the same way I took Georgie. And I'm gonna make you suffer again and go through the same type of pain again. So try to come save this boy. I'm gonna snatch him up the same way I snatched up Georgie. Yeah. Shouts out Pennywise. I keep forgetting these people's name. But Fat Kid, he glowed up into something great. Now, I actually like this character up in this movie. He seemed like he was definitely one of courage. Now, when I saw him, I was like, man, he about to come back, man. He already knows some fighting skills, bruh. And they didn't show that a lot. I kind of expect him to come back and be like, boom, like, come on, pull up, Pennywise, bah, 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 boom. But I'll talk to that when I get to the end where I had my issues and where I liked it. But I was expecting a little bit more, but I was okay with what I got. I liked the fact that he was still still kind, sweet in a way. He wasn't a douchebag. He was not a douchebag type of guy. He was the one who was actually, like, when all the losers returned to that restaurant to hear out the black kid, keep forgetting these people's name, but to hear out the black kid, the black guy, about his plan, about him trying to remind the others, hey, Pennywise is back. You guys need to remember. We need to go around and we need to start remembering so we can find out how we can kill this guy. But we need to remember what happened 27 years ago. Because Pennywise is back and we need to figure out what happened. Because every time people leave this town, they start to forget stuff. So. And the fat kid, the fat guy, who's now sexy AF, came back. And he was actually encouraging the guy, hey, let's listen to him. So he wasn't the one. Georgie, Eddie, lightweight Beverly was trying to dismiss the situation because they really didn't want to deal with it. They really didn't want to deal with Pennywise. But the stuttering guy, keep forgetting their names. But the stuttering guy and fat kid was all willing to hear out black guy.
If it ever comes back.
I'm sorry that I forgot these people. You guys, I'm sorry I forgot their names. I am sorry. I am very sorry. I'm sorry. But I appreciate that about those two. They would probably be the most courageous people. No. Ben's the fat kid. Billy's the stuttering kid. Okay, Ben and Billy. Freak. Billy and Ben. Got it. Billy. Now, what I wanted to see from Ben and Billy, well, basically all the losers at the final fight, you guys, when they had to trick Pennywise, because Pennywise had to abide by the laws of the world in order to, be able to execute the kids. Like in order for Pennywise to get through this small crevice, this small little crack, he had to be small just to get them. He can't go against. It's weird. Because I was like, he can't go against the laws of this, but he's doing this and he's able to do this. I'm like, but he can't. It's weird. Like, the way they kill it, it's weird. Like, it's weird. This man's able to summon balloons and stuff. He got some type of magical properties. And these guys tell him, you're just a clown. And then he starts to shriek, oh my gosh, I'm not a clown. You're a mimic. Oh my gosh, the power, the words. Words, they hurt. Oh my gosh, the words hurt. Now, they was doing that to Pennywise. They had to believe that Pennywise was lesser than what Pennywise thought he was. to defeat him. Now, I thought it was weird because I'm like, that's really how you gonna die, homie? That's the trick to beat you? But you got all these OP magical abilities? Like, yeah, he needs to rely on fear to... It's weird. He needs to rely on fear to, eat people and stuff. But I'm like, bruh, nigga, just eat the damn kids. But hey, you need a movie and you need rules to give you a movie and make it interesting. When it's like, bruh, you can legit sneak in any of these homes, jack these kids, take them underground, and chew them up. But hey, you gotta have a movie, which I'm totally fine with. But let's keep it 100, bruh. This man, can easily just sneak into your house without even trying, and you would never know he's in your house. He can snatch you up easily and take you to the sewer. No trying at all. He just needs to snatch your ass up. But hey, that's how it happens in the book, But, I don't got no huge issue with it. But hey, I'm just saying, it's kind of like, okay, the suspension of disbelief is very high here. I understand. I'm going to have a little bit of disbelief and pretend like I believe what you're telling me. So, what I wanted to see from the losers was an actual gang up beatdown, bruh.
If that thing comes back when I'm 70, let's finish it once and for all.
Like, not them just saying words, and I thought that was whack. They should have been saying words, and Pennywise should have been shrinking. They should have went like, "What's good, Pennywise? You trash." Boom, and then they push and pop, pop, boom. They stabbing this dude like when they was kids, bruh. They was hitting him with the bat.
I'm gonna have to kill this fucking clown. Welcome to the Losers Club, asshole!
They didn't do that. I thought that was trash. That they only killed this man with words. At least in the miniseries when they turned into a bug, they jumped this fool, bruh. They got up in there. They pulled out his guts. Bruh, you bug. The miniseries did it better, bruh. When they killed off Pennywise, them kids pulled up. They got the adults pulled up. They said, "Freak this dude." Got Pennywise. Took out his guts, was pulling out stuff. Freak you, Pennywise, bro. Boom. They was wrecking him. But in this, they beat him with words. I thought that was trash, bro. I thought that was weak. Y'all was tight when y'all was doing it as kids. Y'all was beating this man up. Y'all jumped this fool. But now, let's beat him up with words. I thought that was whack. That words beat up Penny. It should have been words and hands, bruh. Words and hands. I should have seen Pennywise getting boom, 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 yeah, bah, getting socked up, and getting bad mouth. Oh, you're a mimic. Boom. Ooh, you can mimic these nuts, Pennywise. Bah. Who? Fucking clown. Boink. Bah. Hadouken. Whew. They should have been wrecking it. They should have been wrecking him. Now, like I say, I enjoyed the movie, but It Chapter 1 was better. Especially the way they took out Pennywise in the first film. Well, they put him to rest. It should have been the same, but more brutal since they're adults. Now, would I say, was this movie scary? No. Okay, it was scary and it was creepy. Creepy and scary, they fall into the same category. If I'm creeped out, you scaring me. If you creeping me out, you scaring me. I was creeped out, bro. I was creeped out, like, real talk. The jump scares, some of the jump scares, and there was tons of jump scares up in there. They got me. But it was a lot of times in this movie where that comedy came in. And there's no problem with the comedy being there. The issue is when you use your comedy took me out of when I'm supposed to feel like, if they're having a sad moment, I'm supposed to feel like this is a sad moment. You know? The black guy, well, would I say lied? Yeah, kind of lied to him. So, let's talk about the whole thing of killing Pennywise. So the way they had to kill Pennywise was that they had this little box thingy, this tarp, this cone thingy, pyramid little, this capsule thingy, looked like a little pyramid, right? Had a top on it. So they had to seal Pennywise, like the Mafu, but from Dragon Ball Z. Mafuba! Boom! Boom, like that. But they had to lock up Pennywise and kill him through sealing him inside the cone thingy. So, as I'm looking at this, the way this works, each of the characters need to remember a piece of their past that linked them to Pennywise and a piece of their past that linked them to Derry, so they can remember everything that happened those 27 years ago. Because when people leave Derry, it's something with Pennywise and what's golden. He's able to make them sort of forget what happened, but he doesn't want. It's weird, but they forget what happened. It's like they just cut off what happened to them as they was growing up in Derry, and they only really remember their new memories and their new homes, their new lives, wherever they moved to. So the black guy, he never left Derry. He actually stayed. And he was gearing up for when Pennywise was coming back, and he had to get the gang ready. Call him up like, "Yo, Pennywise is back. Time to pull up. Time to roll up. Time to ride. Let's ride out on this food." So they was getting ready to do it, and they had to go back into the town, walk through the town, relive their old memories, and figure out everything. Beverly had to go back to her abusive home. Ben went back to the school where Ben, the fat boy, went back to the school where he had his little moment of dealing with if Beverly liked him or not. And you had Billy relive his bike. He refound his memories again through his bike, went by his old house, visited the sewer where it took Georgie. Pennywise took Georgie. And Richie had to go. Now, I think Richie's homosexual. I'm not sure. I think they was implying that. I was implied. I mean, it seems like it. I don't know. I think Richie's homosexual. I'm not sure. But the way they were setting up certain scenes, it seemed like it. Because Pennywise was like, "Oh, Richie, I know your dirty little secret. I know your dirty little secret." And I was like, because when Richie was playing with that, now I'm not saying that was homosexual anyway. I'm not saying just because you're playing with you're a game with somebody, you're gay. I'm not saying that. But they were just playing games, and Richie asked the guy, "Hey, you want to go for another game?" And then you had that crazy kid that was trying to kill the loser club from the past film, and he pulled up, and then he saw his cousin, and then his cousin who was playing with Richie was like, "Oh shoot. My cousin's gonna think I'm a punk if I'm playing with this kid." He was like, "Ew, why are you trying to be gay, faggot?" And Rich was like, "Wait, I just want to play games with him. What the freak?" I mean, I'm not sure if they're implying that Richie's homosexual. I mean, I'm not saying he is, and I'm not saying he's not, but I kind of got vibes of it, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not mad at it, but I'm like, Is that what they're trying to imply? Is dirty? Whatever. I don't know. I just got those kind of vibes. But I'm not saying it's you would be considered homosexual if you want to say, "Hey, you want to go a second round on the game?" I'm not saying that's homosexual. I just I don't know. I got some vibes of them teasing that Richie is homosexual, but they're not trying to directly show it, which I had no issue with. But I'm like, is he or is he not? So, But hey, they just kept it as is. It was not trying to focus on it. That was not the purpose of the film. But, and Eddie had to go back to the old clinic. Not clinic, but what they call those stores? The pharmacies. He had to go back to the pharmacy, buy a new inhaler. And he relived the memory of something that happened years ago in that same building where he ran into a spirit of Pennywise, or Pennywise attacking him, trying to use his mom against him to trick him. So you had moments like those. And how they came to the conclusion of we need to kill him. We need to seal the deadlights inside the thing, blah, blah, blah. Once we seal him in there, then we can kill him. But Black Guy didn't tell them, hey man, once we do this, we're all gonna die. But they didn't. Well, they was going to die, but they didn't die. But they was going to die. So, yeah. And like, my biggest issue with the ending is how they took him out, bro. I don't like that they just use words. I wanted to see them like they did in It Chapter 1, but more brutal. I want to see y'all get in there with some sticks, and I want y'all to beat that.
Walk that trick, 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 walk that.
But I'm fine. I'm not fine with what I got. It Chapter 1 ending, the way they went at Pennywise is better. It was short, but I like that they was throwing hands and hitting him with sticks. They didn't do that in this when he, like, as he was shrinking, they should have been like exerting all their anger on this fool, like saying words and punching this dude. Like, you took Georgie from me, bruh. Boom. They should have been bodying him, talking smack about him, and just breathing like a straight up gangbang. Like a literal gangbang. Not the gangbang that way, but like a gangbang. Like some gangbangers want to jump in a new guy into the set, and they all need to beat him up and toughen him up for him to join the gang. Now, granted, It Chapter 2, I liked it. It was cool to watch. I wasn't bored, to be honest. Yeah, it was 3 hours, but I wasn't bored. But hey, I mean, if second viewing, I might fall asleep, because same thing with Avengers Endgame. First time, I was wide awake. Second viewing of Avengers Endgame, I almost fell asleep, because that second act is boring, my G. Talking for no reason, barely any action. I'm like, just get this shit out of here. The first act of Avengers Endgame and third act of Avengers Endgame, epic, bro. That second act where they time traveling and stuff, that's where all the inconsistent stupidity of the writing just comes out, and it's just BS. It's like, stop. You got all this talking that's not all that interesting, and it's more humor than actual serious weight to the story. It Chapter 2, best acts of the movie was the Losers Club returning and showing up to that restaurant. Billy trying to save that boy. Pennywise biting the gay dude, and Pennywise also eating that little girl. Tight. All the Pennywise moments where Pennywise is just talking, period, was tight. Trying to be creepy and shit. Beverly and Ben confessing their love for each other and saving each other. I like that. Eddie stabbing the other guy, the evil dude, who was locked up in the insane asylum. Tight. And that joke, hey man, you should cut your mullet for 30 years. You still have the fucking mullet. Funny. I laughed. Ha ha ha. What else was a good moment? I mean, there's more, but that's really the scenes I liked. Now, I wouldn't call this a review, call it more of a discussion, but it was cool, but it could have been so much better, especially that ending. Like, if I get it, y'all, I'm running with the story. They needed to make him believe that he was less significant than he already was to beat him. Okay, cool with that. But y'all should have been throwing hands and talking smack to him. Not that, you're irrelevant Pennywise. Yeah. All they did was talk to him. They talked to him, pulled out his heart, and he died. Man, y'all should have been in there beating that fool up. The freak, all them kids. Nah. The Pennywise deserved to feel more pain, bruh. He should have been getting beat up. Like, nah. Just like in Jeepers Creepers 2, bro. Jeepers Creepers 2. When the dad got to the creeper, he stabbed that fool more than 30-something times because he deserved it. He deserved to kill. The creeper deserved all them stabbings, bro. He stabbed that fool more than 30 times. Stabbed that fool. He wanted him to feel the pain he felt when he took his son. That should have been the same thing up in this movie, bro. And that ending did not have that. They talked to him. You trash, Pennywise. Oh my gosh, I'm not trash, I'm Pennywise. Don't make me smaller. They made him small, homie. What the freak? Hey, but like I say, it was cool. But it wasn't as good as part 1. Part 1's better. Part 1 is 10 times better, bro. Part 1 is 10 times better, especially that ending when they bodied Pennywise, bro. Part 1 is better. You know, since they all linked up. Richie, Eddie, Billy, Beverly, Black Guy. I feel bad for forgetting the Black Guy's name. Black Guy and Beverly all linked up. You know, when they got older in this movie, should have got that orgy going just for old time's sake.
What the?
Alright, y'all, I'm about to go end this video there. It's your boy, K-Dot, the first Black Super Saiyan to work around this planet. Thank you for pulling up to the It Chapter 2 discussion, but it's your boy, K-Dot, the first Black Super Saiyan to work around this planet. Goes to that peace, love, positivity, and all that jazz. Don't do drugs.
Should have gone for the head.
What did it cost?
Everything. We're in the end game now.